Pilots and passengers, developing yourself spiritually is a great way to learn about the other side or the spirit world. There are many ways that people can do this, so meditation is a really great example. Practicing mediumship or spirit communication, so using tools such as Ouija boards, which I've discussed in my last video, or simply by doing mental mediumship. But a really great way to connect with like-minded people and develop yourself spiritually is by joining or setting up a spiritual development circle. So a spiritual development circle is a gathering of people who meet up with the sole intent of developing themselves spiritually. This can be through doing a variety of activities, as I've said, mental mediumship. It's also a really great way to learn different things that you might not have done before if you wasn't in a spiritual development circle. So this could be, instead of just doing mental mediumship, you might do psychic art, so drawing your spirit guides, learning about chakras, learning healing, Reiki. There's all kinds of things that you can do in a spiritual development circle. In this video today, I'm going to talk about how to actually set up a spiritual development circle and what that actually means. But first, if you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe to Dare to Fly today and get ready to take flight. Turn notifications on so that you are notified every time I upload, and share this video with others. I also now have a Ko-fi site where you can donate a one-off payment to Dare to Fly to help support the channel. It really means so much to me if you could check that out, along with my Patreon where I have some really out of this world tiers, so you could become a cadet or a junior flight officer where you'll get some exclusive benefits such as early access to my content before it goes on YouTube, and being able to join an exclusive Dare to Fly Discord server where there'll be a range of activities and open discussions going on. Now, let's fly into today's video. When setting up a spiritual development circle, it can often be quite difficult as to know what to do, where to look, who's going to join. But the first thing you want to do before setting up a spiritual development circle is having that positive intent and feeling ready to commit. So when you are thinking about setting up a spiritual development circle, stay positive, have that positive intent and have a goal set of what you want to achieve. Why are you doing this? Ask yourself, what are my aims and what am I wanting to get out of being part of a circle? Be ready to commit to a circle each week, as this is something you're going to be doing regularly. It's not a one-off thing, it's where you're going to be meeting up every week, maybe once or twice a week, to develop yourself spiritually. This is because the energy needs to build each week, and the more you do something, the better at it you get. That works with anything, and this also applies to going to a spiritual development circle, as you'll soon see yourself developing pretty quickly. Like I said, set your own goals. Do you want to try a new form of spirit communication? Do you want to have a go at mental mediumship, if that is something you've never done before? Then set them goals for yourself before you join a spiritual development circle. But don't be too strict with it, because you might end up discovering something new that you haven't ever thought of you'd try, or you might realise that you are much stronger at one form of communication than another. You might surprise yourself. When setting up your own spiritual development circle, you need to find other people who are like-minded and looking to join a circle as well. So if you are unsure about who might want to join your circle, or you're not sure if you have anyone who is interested, then have a look around to see if there are any open circles at a local spiritualist church. Attending an open circle is a great way to meet like-minded people, but also see what a circle is like and taking part in spiritual development. You'll also get to see how one runs, so if you're looking to set up your own, you have an idea of how you want to run it, what you actually do, what the processes are, and what sort of activities you'll be doing. So at the circle that I've attended previously, there was one person there who is a very experienced medium, someone who has had experience hosting circles and also has attended many circles in their time. This person is someone who, like I said, is a strong medium. They understand spirit communication, they are willing to guide others and pass on their knowledge. But this doesn't always have to be the case. If you are looking for a new group and none of you are super experienced, then that's okay, because then that means you can develop yourselves together and it'll be a journey for all of you. The people you want to include in your circle will be people who you are comfortable with, people you are comfortable working with, their energies. You don't want to be in a circle with someone whose energies it feels off, it feels uncomfortable, you're not comfortable developing yourself around them and opening up spiritually. If you don't feel comfortable, practicing mediumship in front of a certain person or with certain people, then they aren't the people you want to be in a circle with. In the circle that I'm in is people who I've known for quite a few years and I get on with really well and I trust. And that means that when I do mediumship or practice spirit communication, I don't feel, nervous or really scared or that I'm going to make a fool of myself or that they're going to judge me, because we're all there to learn. And that is the feeling and the vibe you want to have with the people you work with. If these people can be your friends or family friends or people you've maybe met at a church or a gathering, people who are like-minded, then that's great. If you get on with them and you feel, I click with these people, they will be really great to talk with and learn from, then they are the people you want in your circle. You want to make sure the people you involve in your circle are going to be committed, that they understand they're going to be meeting at least once a week to practice spirit communication and development. A really great way to stay in contact is by setting up maybe a group chat online on Facebook. You could be on Telegram, anything like that, where you can all stay in touch and you could organise what activities you're going to be doing at Circle. Maybe if you can't attend one week, you just let them know that that is the case. The number of people you have in your circle is down to you. It's completely down to you. So you could have a really small number of people or you could have a big circle. At an open circle, anyone can attend it, and it's usually got a large amount of people looking to develop themselves spiritually. Whereas a closed circle is a select few people who have either been invited or they've all, joined together and said, this is what we're going to do. Like I said, you can have as many people as you like, but smaller numbers are usually a lot easier to work with, as you can go around the circle and do readings much easier. Everyone gets a turn, everyone is guaranteed a turn. At one of my closed circles, there's around 4 or 5 people, sometimes 6. Maximum, whereas another circle that I run with my dad is just me and him, and sometimes my mum and my brother maybe, so there's 4 of us total, but usually there's only 2. The next bit of advice is make sure you actually set a date and time as to when you're going to run your circles. So each week pick a date, a time and a place is very important. So for me, my circle is every Wednesday at 8 o'clock after tea, and it's in my house. Another circle I used to go to was same time. It would be Wednesday at around 6, 7 o'clock, and it would be at a friend's house. So we'd always meet there every Wednesday, and it normally go on till around maybe 10 o'clock. If you are attending a open or closed circle at a church, a spiritualist church, you'll usually probably be meeting up at the church itself. When running a circle, make sure that you prepare the space beforehand. So it's as simple as making sure there's enough chairs for everyone to sit round. Usually we sit in a circle, so make sure there's enough space for that to be the case. If you are doing table tipping or using a Ouija board or doing some form of physical communication that requires a table, make sure there's enough room for that, make sure it's all set up. If you're doing certain activities, so maybe doing crystal readings or pendulum, make sure you have all the tools that you need for that night. Tarot cards, have it all set out so that you don't have to scramble to get everything ready once everyone's arrived. If you are going to be doing certain activities that require crystals or pendulums or anything like that, make sure you tell your group ahead of time so that if people want to bring their own things, their own pendulums, their own crystals, they can do that. Set up a bit of ambience, get the setting going, get the vibe going so that everyone knows that they're going to be heading into spiritual development. You could set up a few candles to get the mood going, nice and dark, dim, or you could have some fairy lights. It's all down to you. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you like. I usually use candles, so we'll have a candle going in our circle, but just a word of advice, make sure you actually blow the candle out before, the end of circle, and you don't just leave it running overnight and by the morning you've just got like a dead candle. You don't do that. Make sure you blow your candles out. So before you actually get into spirit communication and practice, it's important that you open the circle. So the best way to start this is by doing a group meditation, sitting there quietly. Maybe you might do a guided meditation, so listening to music or listening to someone guiding you through a set meditation. This can be for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and that's a great way to start opening your energies up and welcoming in spirit communication. During this time you might also get a few messages then, so that's a really great way to start things off so that when you get into doing readings you've already got something to go off. So raise the vibration, so it depends on the activity you're doing, so maybe if you are doing table or Ouija or pendulum, anything physical. Talking, laughing and having banter with the other people there is a really great way to raise the vibration and start getting things moving. Don't be afraid to laugh and joke, because this is not a serious setting. It's a friendly setting, a welcoming setting. So to open the circle, a great way to do this is by being physically in a circle, standing up, holding hands. Say an opening statement to set the intent that this is what you're going to be doing, that you are going to be doing a circle with the intent of spiritual development and communication. Make sure that this opening statement, this opening of the circle is welcoming, it's positive, it's friendly, that you are working in love and light and you don't want to work with anyone who is negative. I usually say amen at the end. You don't have to do this. You could use whatever closing statement you like. But after this, we also then say the Lord's Prayer as a bit of protection, and that's all within the opening few moments of the circle. And once we've done that, we all sit down and start building up the energy and getting into whatever activity we are doing. A very important part of running the circle is making sure everyone is protected. So spend a few minutes to do a bit of protection. This can be personal protection, or it could be group protection. I've previously done a video on protection and it's really simple, it's easy to follow, and there's different methods of protection, so there's something for everyone. So saying the Lord's Prayer is a really simple way to protect yourself. You could take a moment to do some personal protection, so this could be saying your own prayers. You can say them out loud or you can say them in your head. So you could say, I'm safe, protected and surrounded by pure golden love and light energy. I ask for protection from my loved ones, my guardian angels and spirit guides working in love and light. Any affirmations or prayers that I say, I will repeat 3 times, and I usually say them in my head, as that's what I like doing. I sit quietly and just do that, and then once I've finished, I will then head into the activity, the communication. Another form of protection is wearing a cross. You don't have to be religious to wear a cross. I see it as a symbol of protection and I treat it as such, so then I know that it's going to protect me. If you are doing physical communication, such as Ouija boards or table tipping, it's important that you check that you know exactly who you're talking to, and this is as simple as doing a security check. So an example of talking to my Uncle Andrew: according to spirit law, if you truly are my Uncle Andrew working in love and light, please say yes. And I'll say that 3 times, as spirits cannot lie, they struggle to lie, and they have to be honest when doing spirit communication. You don't have to do that with mental mediumship. Usually we just do it with, if you are doing Ouija boards or any low vibration work, beings who are low vibration can slip in and be a bit mischievous sometimes. Understand what activity you are going to be doing that night. There's plenty of things you can be doing. You don't have to just stick with doing readings or mental mediumship. There's an absolute plethora of things you can be doing, and you don't always have to be doing mediumship or spirit communication. You could do a night of discussion, where one night someone does a discussion on a particular thing they are interested in. So you could do one night on aliens, discussing that. You could do Wicca or witchcraft, discussing the history of that. You could do a night on conspiracy theories. You could do anything you like. It's all up to you. There's no strict, you have to do this, you can't do that. You can do whatever you like. Spiritual development isn't just practicing mediumship, it's also learning from others, learning from those who are attending circle, learning something new from them, sharing your knowledge. That is all part of the development, as well as practicing mediumship and communication. A great starting point with what you can do in a circle is, of course, mediumship. So spend a few minutes of meditation where you are asking Spirit to provide you messages, and then see how you feel. Do you connect to someone in that room? Do you feel that what messages you have received are for that person, who you are drawn to? What you'll do is go around the circle and everyone has the opportunity to give a reading. Of course, if you find it quite difficult, that's understandable. It's alright to not be perfect at everything. This is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. It's like going to the gym and working out. You're not going to be able to lift something really heavy straight away. You're going to have to slowly build up. The more you practice, the better at it you'll become. Another great activity is doing tarot cards, and I absolutely love that, because as much as I enjoy doing mental mediumship, I like to be able to do psychic readings too. So using a tarot card, seeing how I feel, what energy I get off that. It's more visual. I feel like I can give a message easier if I've looked at something and had a moment to feel and think about what am I getting from that? Starting out with mediumship, it can sometimes feel hard because you don't know how to trust yourself with what you receive. Tarot cards can be a really great starting point for getting something to focus on visually, can often help. So you can do single card readings, so get someone to pick out a card randomly and then you'll take a look at the card, hold it, feel what energy you get. Or you yourself could pick out the card and then just see who you think that card is for. And then the same process, see what energies you're picking up on, what messages you're receiving, and then give a reading that way. There are also physical communication practices you can delve into, such as Ouija boards, which you should not be afraid of doing, table tipping, pendulum work, and wax reading. All of these are physical forms of communication. They are low vibration, as this attracts lower beings who might be a bit mischievous sometimes, or people who just want to come in and say hello. Nothing to be afraid of course. But sometimes it's a good way to, if you've been practicing a lot of mental mediumship, it's a good way to break things up a little bit and do a week of table tipping, maybe a week of Ouija boards. You might get different information that way too, things you wouldn't usually pick up on. Trance is another good one. You might have someone in your group who is actually secretly really good at trance mediumship, and that is allowing spirit to basically come into your body, take over and speak through you. And it's amazing. You'll see the person change physically, their voice change, they become someone else, and messages get through that way and it just flows through. It's very, very amazing. Doing mirror work, so staring into a mirror and describing what you see. So your face might change into that of a spirit. You might see people. You might see that the faces of those around you change. Feel free to change things up. Ask other members of the circle what activities they'd like to do, what things they'd like to try. When closing the circle, it's important that you say a closing prayer. This is just a little statement, a little closing message that you say to thank the spirits who have come through. There is no set message for this. You can say whatever you like. So you could say, we are closing the circle now. We'd like to thank all of the spirits and beings who came through and provided us with wonderful messages. You can say that you ask that everyone in the circle is protected, stays safe, provided lots of healing and love energy. It's a great time, like I said, to ask for healing. It doesn't just have to be for those in the circle or present in the room. It can be for anyone you like. You can ask for healing for the world. You can ask for healing for someone you know who is going through a hard time. Be thankful. Tell the spirits that you are going to be meeting up again, same time next week. And with a closing prayer, the same person doesn't always have to do it. You could all take turns each week to do an opening and closing prayer. It's a great way to practice and get an understanding of how circles work. And I think one of the most important parts is having some social time at the end. Set some time aside at the end to do a bit of socialising. Get to know the people you are working with, and it's a great way to reflect on what you've learned in that session and the things that you've discovered and the messages you've received. It's the best way to build relationships and rapport with your fellow members and get to know them, get to know what they like. Just be friendly, be yourself. Tea and cake, have tea and cake. Bring cake along each week, or bring along just any food you like. So this is just a loose guide on spiritual development circles and how you can join one or set one up yourself. There are many ways you can set up a spiritual development circle, and you can invite whoever you like. If you're feeling unsure about setting one up, try see if you can find one in your area. At a spiritualist church, see if there are any open circles going, and take some time to experience what it's like to be in one. And then when you feel more confident, you could set your own up. It's a fantastic way to meet fellow like-minded people, people who are looking to develop themselves spiritually and that you get on with on the same wavelength. You can set one up with whatever goals you have in mind, and it's amazing. You'll see yourself develop spiritually really quickly, and you'll learn things you didn't expect. You'll experience things that are really just mind-blowing and out of this world, literally out of this world. Anyone can develop themselves spiritually, anyone can communicate with spirit, and you'll surprise yourself with what you're able to do and what you can achieve. I hope this video helps you and guides you, and even if you don't believe in spirit or you feel a bit unsure, that you've taken something away from this and maybe opened your mind a little bit more. Being a part of a spiritual development circle has been a really great opportunity for me to learn about the world, learn about the spirit world, learn about myself and what I can actually do and achieve. And I've had some of the most amazing spiritual encounters when being a part of a circle. I've witnessed things that I just can't explain. I've received messages. I've given readings. If you'd like to support the channel, subscribe to Dare to Fly today and get ready to take flight. Turn notifications on so you get notified every time I upload a video. And share this video with others. Are you a part of a spiritual development circle? Let me know down in the comments below. Or if you're looking to set up your own, please keep me updated on your journey. Remember to check out my Ko-fi page where you can support the channel with a one-off donation, and my Patreon where I have some amazing tiers set up. You can become a cadet or a junior flight officer where you'll get access to some amazing benefits, including exclusive access to the Dare to Fly Discord server and early access to content before it even hits YouTube. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I really love you lots, and as always, fly high, fear less.